Sarah Robinson. I'm the Rural Network Coordinator for the Rural Voice Project in North Yorkshire. The North Yorkshire Rural Voice Project is a 3-year project funded by the Big Lottery, which provides support and advice to voluntary organisations, charities and rural communities, particularly those in the more remote rural areas of North Yorkshire. We work in partnership with 6 offices based in CVS organisations across the district, covering Richmondshire, South Craven, Hambleton, Harrogate and Ripon, Rydell and the Scarborough Coast and Meuse area. We also have a designated officer supporting black and minority ethnic groups, and all of these network officers are based out in those districts, whereas myself as coordinator is based in the Rural Action Yorkshire office in York. The project has 2 clear aims. The first one is, as I've said, to support voluntary and community groups as they access services, maybe even signposting them to more specialist services than can be initially offered. The second objective is to listen to the group's views on policy issues, making sure that their voice is well represented in district, regional and national policy making. The sort of thing that I mean by that second point can be illustrated by some of the work that we did over the summer at consultation exercises both at the Great Yorkshire Show and Rydell Show, where we surveyed as many people as we could at those shows on their broadband needs and the broadband service that they currently receive. That sort of information was then put together and goes back into the North Yorkshire Connecting North Yorkshire project, which is about delivering high-speed broadband to North Yorkshire, and it serves as evidence to that project as to where the need for improved broadband services lies.
Hi, my name's Catherine. I work for Rural Action Yorkshire. Currently I'm looking at fuel poverty and how we can help communities reduce how much they pay for fuel and how they can reduce their consumption. We've been going out and about this summer. We've been to Rosedale Show, we've been to Muka Show, where we got absolutely soaked, and it was quite funny talking about affordable warmth when you're freezing to death. But we did that, and we got to meet the locals. We got to meet the people who are struggling to heat their homes. So we're finding out how they heat their homes when they haven't got gas. The majority of North Yorkshire doesn't have gas. They have heating oil or wood or liquid petroleum gas. There's not much we can do about wood or liquid petroleum gas because they're quite fixed prices, but we can help with heating oil. We can help set up oil buying cooperatives, which we're doing successfully now across the area, and we can also plug them into the affordable warmth scheme that's going on, particularly for the over 75s. The people are great to talk to. They want to find out how they can help. They want to know about renewables, for instance, solar panels, ground source heat pumps. The majority of people aren't going to do this, but there's an interest out there, so perhaps what we can do with these people is get communities together to buy in bulk. And that's another aspect we're exploring. We're also looking at Castle Howard Estate and the Dorney Estate in North Yorkshire. These are big private landlords who have a lot of housing stock. Many of the houses they have, and many of the other people's houses in North Yorkshire, are what they call hard to treat. They're hard to insulate, they're hard to heat, they have condensation and they have damp problems. This affects their health, their general comfort. A lot of the people living in these houses and conditions are elderly and they don't easily ask for help, so that's where we're coming in. The Rural Action Yorkshire and our Fuel Poverty programme, we're hoping to reach these people, help them improve their quality of life by having a more comfortable warm home and being able to heat their house and to eat as well, because that was one of the things we discovered last winter, was heating and eating became quite a choice, and it's not one I'd like to face, and I'm sure you wouldn't either. So the more people in this, the better. We can help communities, we can support them, but we need to know also where they are. So please come tell us if there's anything we can do to help, or you know there's anybody who's struggling. Fuel is expensive, it's only going to go up, we know that, but we can work with rural communities to find out how we can lessen the pain of paying.
Hello, I'm Jane Johnson, and for the last 6 months I've been working for Rural Action Yorkshire on the Digital Television Switchover project. The project that we've been involved with the television switchover has been the help scheme, and we've been trying to get the message out to people who are isolated and hard to reach. So to do this, we've been working with people like volunteer car schemes, befrienders, CVSs, to pass the message on to people who are very isolated. So it might be a carers group who would go into people's houses and see that they hadn't got a digibox and check that they were getting the help that they were entitled to. It's worked really well across the region, and we think that now that switchover is happening, everybody is pretty much aware of switchover.
Melanie Swanwick, and I work in South Yorkshire for the South Yorkshire Rural Network project. I work in the Barnsley and Doncaster areas. I've been doing some work with Norton Energy Community, who are 3 parishes in around Norton in North Doncaster, looking at saving money and income generation, possibly through renewable energies. They've been looking at working with various groups that I've put them in touch with that can deliver projects for them around such as a Green Doctor scheme, which is around people having fitments to the home to help them insulate round doors, reflective radiator backs on radiators, and they're looking at the moment for support around obtaining funding to make that happen in their communities. In addition, I'll be delivering some training to them around basic measures people can do in their own homes, such as monitoring the use of the kettle and not filling the kettle too full of water, in order for people to save money and be more energy efficient. In addition, in the Doncaster area again, I've been working with a few library groups. In Doncaster at the moment, because of the funding cuts to the local authority, there are 14 proposed library closures, of which a number are in rural areas. And within those rural areas, obviously library services is an important part for the local communities, and there are various groups wanting to take over the running of those libraries. I've been working closely with project partners such as South Yorkshire Funding Advice Bureau, Doncaster CVS, as well as Head of Library Services in Doncaster, to look at supporting groups and making sure that they're ready and fit for purpose to be running their own community libraries, things around company structure and business planning, and looking at other income generation ideas that they can use to try and keep the libraries open and make that sustainable.